Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back, Raj and Myers Mayhem, for Game 2 of the Ninja Finals in Tournament 10 of the StarCraft 2 North American Solo League.
Yes, definitely saw a very exciting Zerg vs. Zerg Game 1 on Metalopolis, and now here we are on Shakura's Plateau. Going to see Game 2 between SCSaampson over here in the top left as the teal Zerg, and mikecookie, the red Zerg, in the bottom right. Shakura's Plateau now a very different map from Metalopolis, very different style of map. Originally a 2 versus 2 map, and now of course it's on the Blizzard ladder for 1 versus 1. And there are some people out there that still don't know this, but you actually cannot spawn in vertical positions on this map. You cannot spawn on the same side of this map as your opponent if you're playing a 1 versus 1. So it looks like both overlords going out scouting in the right direction, towards the left side of the map and the right side of the map respectively.
It does look like we have an extractor trick from mikecookie, so I'm going to guess he's going to do an early pool. That's normally the only reason you do an extractor trick, is to get that pool out a little bit faster and still have a nice economy. But don't take my word for that. Yes, it does look like he's throwing down an 11 pool, possibly going for early Zerglings like he did in the last game, but that's not necessarily the best choice on this map, because if you look at this map, it's just monumentally huge distances to get to the other player's map, other person's base, excuse me. And it just never works out well.
Definitely a drone coming in from Samson. He has been in transit for about 4.5 hours, just getting across the map, getting some scouting in, trying to get to the other guy's base. Oh, he could probably use a break right now. Maybe find him a chair so he can sit down.
Right, you are. It looks like Samson has the same opener as last game, with gas first as well as a pool both at 14. So it looks like he's going to go for early speedlings and possibly banelings like he did last game.
Definitely, like you said, this is the same opening that we saw in last game. mikecookie opting to get that Zergling, that spawning pool out a little earlier. I don't wonder if that's just as a safety precaution, just to protect against any kind of early cheese from SCSaampson. Because cheese is very common in Zerg vs. Zerg, even more so, I think, than it is in some of the other matchups, especially. But just maybe a little early precaution, getting that 10 pool, that 11 pool out, just to build a few Zerglings, just to protect against like any sort of 6 pool or 7 pool cheese coming from the other player.
Oh, of course. Playing in the finals of a tournament, even if it's just for fun, you want to win, so take every precaution you can, play it safe, just try and get out there. Good play if that's his strategy behind it. I really like that idea. And with the only building 2 Zerglings after the 11 pool, I actually think you're completely correct in his reasons for doing that.
Those Zerglings now chasing that drone back across the map. That poor little drone has been through a lot today. Getting another hit and might be able to take it off, but he might
sorry to cut you off, but we do have a spine crawler that was tried to be planted inside of Samson's base by mikecookie, but the drones were quickly pulled off, as well as 2 wings shut it down very fast.
So I do see that now. Apologize for missing that. Now a few Zerglings just going to try to sneak into the base. Not going to do a lot of damage as that queen is out to protect those drones. The queen, of course, takes very good care of all of her little drones at this base.
Aren't those queens just nice people? We do have speed starting at about the same time for both the players, so they will both have speed at around the same time, which is very interesting considering the build that Samson went for. He should have had speed a lot earlier, but it might have just been a little mismicro by him. And an early Roach Warren as well. It looks like he wants the defense that he needed last game.
Yes, Roach Warren coming out from SCSaampson, and in contrast, an expansion going down for mikecookie. Interesting that both players decided not to build an early expansion on this map, just because the distances are so far away. I think Zergs in particular feel really safe taking an expansion early on this map, and then putting down a couple spine crawlers just to block off that ramp into their natural. But it's very interesting that both players look like they're going for some sort of heavy one-base play originally, and now we see mikecookie taking a very late expansion and not really building a lot of units at this point.
I agree completely, Raj. Of all of the bases, or of all the maps that you feel comfortable the 15 hatch on, I would have to say that Shakura's Plateau is the safest. The distances are just huge. I'm very shocked as well to not see an early expansion out of SCSaampson.
Few roaches now coming out of Samson. Maybe he's going to try to put on a little pressure with these roaches, see if he can get... it's a little late to get a cancel on the hatchery, but he might be able to push in and do some damage to the drones before the spine crawlers get up. Definitely could be potential threat here. But there is a spine crawler finished in the main. All that mikecookie needs to do is move him down to the expansion once he gets some creep out, and there it goes, waddling his way across once he gets to the end of the creep. Of course, just crawling down that ramp at a very slow rate of speed. And now a Roach Warren also finishing for mikecookie, so he's probably going to be building some roaches, just a few, just to be able to defend that natural a little more effectively.
A very big thing in Zerg vs. Zerg is your drone count. Whoever spends more larva on the drones will be able to build the better army as the game goes on. Strangely enough, that's a true fact. But it does look like they've both been able to keep up with near even drone productions, which is very good for Samson, because Samson is going to have his expansion a little bit later. So if he's able to keep up with mikecookie in the drones as well as getting a later expansion, he should be in a very good position. And we do have a little miss micro by mikecookie, who has 3 drones sitting in his mirror. Oh, there they go. Never mind. He put them back into mining.
Get those drones back to work, mikecookie. Those drones have one purpose in life, and if they're not fulfilling it, they need to be sacrificed. Looks like SCSaampson has pushed across the map with a few roaches just to put on a little bit of pressure, maybe trying to force mikecookie to make a few more units than he would like at this point. Both players, of course, wanting to drone up very hard at this point, but mikecookie has enough roaches, he's going to be able to clean this attack up. Those roaches, of course, incredibly slow, not going to be able to retreat across the map, and they do get taken out. mikecookie definitely coming ahead in that exchange, and meanwhile, SCSaampson has put up his expansion as well, not building any drones, just building only units, roaches and zerglings at this point. Very interesting play.
We do have the transfer coming from Samson, and I do like mikecookie's choice after the attack there. He won that attack quite substantially, and he realized that that means he was allowed to spend his next 7 larvae on just drones. So a good way to get himself ahead in the drone count, knowing he won a little skirmish, and that's going to put him ahead. Whereas now Samson's going to have to spend a lot more larvae on units to recuperate for everything he lost in that battle. Definitely,
to recuperate and to prevent against any possible counterattacks, which just a little bit of a counterattack happened right there. It looked like a little bit of a half-hearted counterattack just to make sure that Samson was, in fact, spending those larvae on units and wasn't getting away with just making straight-up drones. Looks now in the harvester count, though, SCSaampson is pulling ahead just a little bit, 37 to 28 drones.
I'm actually really shocked by that, but we do have a really interesting thing in ZVs that you don't see necessarily too often in at least super high-level games. We do have a Spire about a third of the way done for SCSaampson, which is not normally something you see due to the ability of Infestors and Hydralisks to just completely throttle Mutalisks. So we'll see what he does with this Spire. It could be very good at catching mikecookie off guard and could do a lot of damage potentially.
Definitely could do a lot of damage. mikecookie opting for double evolution chambers. Usually when you see this, you're going to see a Hydrogen thrown down just to get some really fast upgrades. Really helps those upgrades really help out those Hydralisks do a lot of damage. So we could be seeing a Hydralisk from mikecookie in this game. Not sure, a little spectator ping there going off.
The 3 roaches that are hiding behind the rocks all by themselves. Yes, they deserved a little ping. I remember that during the tournament. We do have 1-1 being researched now from the evolution chambers. Good job on him actually using his evo chambers right away. We do see that a lot in lower level games where players will build their upgrade buildings and then, oh, I forgot I had those. So good job by him on making sure he gets that.
Definitely. Now the Spire is finished, but no actual Mutalisks coming out. Looks like +1 attacks for Flyers coming out, and a big attack coming in for mikecookie with a lot of roaches and zerglings. Looks like Samson could be in trouble if he doesn't get some mutas out quickly. He's been spending a lot of resources on that Spire, and now the drones are getting forced to be pulled off the line to combat these roaches. But oh, the roaches are doing so much damage to the drones. A lot of economic damage here for SCSaampson. Going to be able to take out that Queen as well.
Yeah, and he looks like he's going to get the hatch too. And he did go mutas, which is nice, and he does have 6 building, but even if those 6 mutas kill these roaches, he lost so many drones, and he lost his whole ground army. I just don't know if Samson can recuperate from a loss like that. That's very detrimental to yourself.
Yes, this could in fact just be the end of the game we're seeing here. Not sure. These roaches definitely going to be more than enough to clean up the rest of these ground forces. These Mutalisks not doing a lot of music, and there's the GG from SCSaampson as more Zerglings come to reinforce. Going to be able to push up in that ramp and just kill every building up there, regardless of how many mutas there are on the field. So, very good game again.
A very well-timed roach push by mikecookie. He seemed to put that at the exact time when Samson was hoping to be left alone. He wanted to get those mutas out first, but Mike did a very good job of pushing right before those mutas came out and was able to just crush his opponent with that.
Definitely some pretty amazing Ehan timing coming down right there. So, a very good game too. mikecookie has taken the series 2-0 so far. So, without any further ado, let's head right on over into Game 3, see how it turns out.